It's the last of the Toad The Wet Sprocket series. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Todd the Mod, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're wrapping up the Toad the Wet Sprocket series that I've been doing, and I can move on to other things. So I'm kind of excited to get this done. As much as I love Toad the Wet Sprocket, I feel like there's other things I want to do for the channel, and vinyl I want to share. And I was going to have two videos this week, but due to my fatigueness, kind of just going to keep it to one. But next week we will do some other ideas I have, and I'll show some vinyl records that I've accumulated over these past 2 months. So without further ado, Toad the Wet Sprocket, the final chapter here. So when we last talked about Toad, they released Coil, their last official recorded album for Columbia Records. There was a Greatest Hits album. There was a live album as well after that. At this point, Toad the Wet Sprocket disbanded. They were no longer together. And then around 2011, they started doing some shows here and there, and they actually they actually re-recorded some of their hits and some of their songs, and they released this thing called All You Want. And they re-recorded songs like All I Want, Good Intentions, Brother, Something's Always Wrong, Walk on the Ocean, and Crowing, and etc. This is my autographed copy of it. So I was really stoked because they got back together to tour and play some shows and introduce some new songs. And the reason why they recorded this is so they could actually own the rights to their songs again and maybe get their songs on some soundtracks. So for instance, they re-recorded Walk on the Ocean, and it was for the movie Jobs with Ashton Kutcher, about Steve Jobs' life. So really cool. Got this at a concert when I first saw them. They were starting to tour again and get met together and working out their differences. So on that tour, they started playing some new music, and it would eventually lead to their first album they recorded together since Coil. They came out with New Constellation. Here's my autographed copy of it, from Glenn and Todd Nichols. I think Dean Denning and Randy Gus is somewhere in here too. But this is my second favorite Toad album, besides Fear. I absolutely love New Constellation. This got some great stuff on it. New Constellation was the first single off of it. And this was recorded on their own label, Abe's. Now, Abe's was their own record label back when they were doing Bread and Circus, and I believe Pale, before they got signed to Columbia. So they released this on Abe's Records, their own label. California Wasted, another great song.
Been going down, there's too much in my head right now. I've got nowhere to slow it down. No one's gonna pull me out. Oh, I still make those same mistakes. Oh, California's wasted on me.
My favorite song on this is The Moment.
For every path you follow, there's another left behind. Every door don't keep open, there's a million more to try. For everything you taught me, here's the one I learned best. There is nothing but the moment, don't you waste it on regret.
Life is Beautiful, which is a song that Todd Nichols sings.
The storm is blowing over. It's safe to go outside. Life is beautiful, so beautiful. I could never imagine I'd turn away again.
Absolutely love this song and this album. So, New Constellation, they tour with it, they release it. It's too bad it wasn't on a major label because they didn't have the major label backup. But they own their own songs, which is a trade-off. But to their fan base, it sold very, very well. And it should have been an album that charted, honestly. I mean, it's such a great album. If you haven't heard New Constellation from Toad The Wet Sprocket, go check out the album. It's a wonderful album. So at this point, Toad The Wet Sprocket's back. They get back together, usually during the summertime, sometimes in the winter, to go tour. And they've been doing this every year. They're feeling the groove. They're still doing their own they're still doing their own solo stuff. But they make time to do Toad The Wet Sprocket stuff. And then just a couple years ago, they released on their own label another new album called Starting Now, Toad The Wet Sprocket. This one took a while to grow on me, I'm not going to lie. I do like the title track. Starting Now is a great song.
I fed my fears, things that haven't been yet. Hope don't mean you sit there, just waiting for the changes. Fighting for the long shot, it's getting in the trenches, starting now.
Also, it's got some good, it's definitely about the here and now. Good message in the song, and you should definitely check out the music videos. It's all like kind of animated, I guess you could say, but it's really cool. Transient Whales is a really pretty song.
I don't like waking up alone, I don't like cooking meals for one. I miss the chaos and the noise, the family work that's never done. Now in dreams I swim with the transient whales.
And The Best of Me featuring Michael McDonald. Now Michael McDonald is obviously well known from the Doobie Brothers solo work. He's same background, probably the most. I wonder if I was to Google this, I'm sure you can. It'll probably say Michael McDonald, same backup on pretty much everybody's stuff. He's, Christopher Cross. He's same backing, a lot of backing vocals with him. Steely Dan. I mean, tons of stuff. Anyway, kind of cool they got Michael McDonald to do backing vocals. They never met him, though. They weren't in the same studio. This album was recorded around the time COVID. Well, COVID was affecting everybody. So it was basically recorded, except for the drums, it was recording each other's house. So Glenn would do his part, send the files to Todd Nichols would do his part, etc. Dean Denny would do his part, etc., etc. So one of their friends was recording with Michael McDonald at a studio, and they got Michael McDonald to sing on the song "The Best of Me." And yeah, "Hold On" is a great song.
So where is our common ground? Everything's falling down. Hold on to what matters.
Not a bad album. It grew on me. I do like it. Not my favorite Toad album, but still happy to have it in my collection. And of course, they release just recent, well, last year actually, All You Want Bonus Edition. So here's the CD they released in 2011. This came out about a year ago. There's only 1,000 of these printed. This is number 168. Again, it's got re-recorded versions of their hits, but it also has some stuff from Starting Now and New Constellation. So Architect of the Ruin, which is an EP they released. California Wasted, The Moment, Transient Whales, Best of Me. And the Best of Me this one doesn't have Michael McDonald's backing vocals. It's actually Dean Denny who did it, who's the bass player of Toad. But yeah, a whole bunch of cool songs. I was happy to get this in my collection, just plain black vinyl. But yeah, and I like how they did this whole, in fact, I did a video on this when I first got it, but they did this whole like circle, I don't know if you can see it here, but like the wear, that's actually the design of the album. So they made it look like it was just a lot of wear and tear on the album cover. But, and as you can see here, 168 out of 1,000. So cool. And since then, Toad is touring every year. In fact, they're about to go on tour again, I think with, I want to say Gin Blossoms, but that might not be right. They toured with Gin Blossoms back in their heyday and just recently. They've also toured with Bare Naked Ladies and Counting Crows. And they are touring, but they're not coming anywhere near the city I'll be living at. We're moving to Texas later on this year. They're not, I don't think I'll be there in time to see that show. Won't be able to go to San Diego for that show. And they're not coming to Arizona. So, but I've seen them 23 times in concert, so no big deal. Anyway, that's where Toad The Wet Sprocket is today. That's what they released. I don't know if they're ever going to do some more new music again. I know Glenn Phillips is still writing and recording his own solo work. I just got his latest solo album last year. And Todd Nichols actually sells guitars. He builds and sells guitars, and I'll post a link to their stuff here in the where links go. And yeah, so Randy Gus is, I failed to mention this. So Randy Gus, when Toad The Wet Sprocket, and Randy Gus is a drummer, by the way. When Toad The Wet Sprocket got back together, Randy Gus was definitely a part of it. Definitely a part of this, definitely a part of New Constellation. Was not a part of Starting Now. At that point, Randy Gus decided, I think it might have been for medical reasons, but touring was just not in the cards for him. So he was later replaced with a session drummer who's been there. He's a drummer for Toad The Wet Sprocket, but he's not officially in the group. I forgot his name. He definitely has a little more edge in his drumming, I think. But I love Randy Gus's drumming. He's an incredible drummer. But he actually lives in my hometown of San Diego now, and I believe he's a drum teacher. Teaches drum lessons. So if you want to learn drums, and I'll put a link to his website here as well. Dean Denning's done a lot of stuff too on his own. Played for other musicians, recorded and stuff. So they're each doing their own thing, and but they still come back together every year to Toad The Wet Sprocket to tour, which is pretty cool. So anyway, enough of my rambling. We're gonna move on to other things. I don't know if I'm gonna do a series again. I feel like there's other people who do these series. In fact, there's one, I'll put a link to his channel. He does great series like with the Smiths. He's done, countless groups. And he does a wonderful job dissecting the songs. He's done one on the Police. He does a really remarkable job. I'm just not that. I have a lot of knowledge in my head, but getting that out into words is very difficult for me. So I kind of feel like I'm not very good at dissecting stuff. I do in my mind, but it just doesn't come across the right way for me. So I feel like I just want to talk about other things instead of doing a series on a group. Don't think it's my strong point. So let me know what you think. Put your comments below. I do appreciate all your comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please share. Still trying to grow my channel. What do you think of Toad's albums after they got back together? New Constellation, Starting Now, and The Best, and All You Want. What do you think about them reforming? What are your thoughts on Toad The Wet Sprocket? They're one of my favorites, but I know everyone has their different opinions, which is totally cool. So thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm still trying to get caught up on a lot of videos I missed out on when I was in the hospital. So I'm still trying to, Racer Records, Steve Carlson, all my favorite channels, The Secret Policeman. There's a new one I just tuned into too. And I'll be doing my shout outs in the next video to other channels I think you should check out as well. So again, thank you for watching. Be good to each other. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.